Hi everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. It's time for another edition of What's Cooking with Nancy. And today is Saturday, April 25th, and it happens to be my brother's birthday. And this is kind of bittersweet because not only is this the first birthday that he has ever had, I think, in the history of him being him and me being me, that we haven't been together, but it's also his 40th birthday. So it's a landmark birthday, and he and his wife were both turning 40 this year. They had planned a big party, and of course that all got put on hold with this COVID stuff, and I feel really bad, but as the saying goes, we are all in this together. So in honor of my brother, today I would like to make a little cake, and acknowledging that we are still in the time that we're in and baking supplies might be scarce. You guys might not have absolutely everything. Your pantry might not be perfectly stocked. We're gonna do a little something called depression cake. So it takes no milk, it takes no eggs, it's pretty easy, it comes together, and you can frost it or not frost it. I'm thinking tonight we're going with the not frosting, and we're just gonna dust it with a little bit of confectioner's sugar, because to me it looks like it's gonna be pretty dense and pretty moist and pretty chocolatey and pretty damn delicious actually. So let's get cooking. Okay, so before we get started talking about our ingredients, I want to say that I know a number of you have emailed me and said, we're having trouble hearing you in your videos, and I am so sorry. It is kind of just a hazard of the equipment I'm using. Up till now, I have been filming exclusively with an iPad, which is really not designed for doing this, really not, honestly. Today, my partner Walter was good enough to lend me these fancy high-tech AirPods, so we're going to see how they work because there is apparently a microphone in here, so I'm hoping that will help you guys hear me a little bit better in the finished product, and if it does, heaven help me, I may have to buy some AirPods. But anyway, we're going to talk about our supplies, wine not included. Okay, so we have our dry supplies and our wet supplies. First, I will mention you want to get your oven preheating to 350 degrees. We have a cup and a half of all-purpose flour. We have 1/4 cup of baker's cocoa, 1 cup white sugar. We have a teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of white table salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and the surprise ingredient, 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. Now we've also got some wet ingredients. So we're going to have we have 1 cup of water, and we've got 1/3 cup of vegetable oil here, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to combine our dry ingredients in a pan, and I've got an 8-inch square glass cake dish, casserole dish, whatever, and I've given it a good spray with some non-stick cooking spray. I'm just going to set that aside. So our dry ingredients. So flour has been sifted. We're going to add our baking powder, give a little mix, salt, mixy, our cocoa, which is going to give it all that really good chocolate flavor. And of course our sugar. 1 cup of sugar. So it's going to be sweet. Get that a nice mix. So this is sort of how we're looking so far. Now for our wet ingredients, we've got our vegetable oil. We've got dogs barking in the background, sorry. We've got our vanilla extract, our white vinegar, and 1 cup of water. And it says specifically in the recipe that I'm using to combine those in a separate bowl and then add them to your dry. So let's do that now. Oh wow, as soon as the wet ingredients start hitting those dry ingredients, man, do you ever smell the cocoa in this? Wow. Ugh. I'm thinking this is going to be good. And the recipe did mention it's going to be quite thick. So I'm not too concerned at this point. It's looking almost like a paste. That's That's all right. And we're just gonna mix until we get all those ingredients that are in the bowl combined, and there's no little kind of dry bits on the side or on the bottom of the bowl. So scrape up the bottom of your bowl, make sure there's nothing down there. Oh gosh, this smells really good. Oh my gosh. Oh, who would have thought, like a basic chocolate cake, right? Oh, okay, well. In any event, so we have our cake batter, and it is quite thick. It's not as thick as I thought it would have been, but we are going to pour it into our greased pan, doing our best to scrape down our bowl, get all the chocolatey goodness out of there. That looks great. Okay, so here is our batter. We're going to get that into a 350-degree oven, and I would love to tell you how long to cook this, except I forgot what the recipe says. So I'm going to have to go reflect back on the recipe, and I will let you know in just a minute. I think it said 40 minutes at 350, but I could be wrong. We will see. I will let you know. Okay guys, so I had a chance to take a peek at that recipe, and it says 30 to 35 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clear. So pretty standard even as far as your box cake mixes go. So we're going to keep an eye on that. It's in the 350-degree oven right now. So like I said, I think tonight we are not making frosting. I think we're just going to dust it with a little bit of confectioner's sugar. But there's any number of ways you guys could treat this when it comes out of the oven and it's cooled. A little squirt of whipped cream would be delicious. Some nice vanilla ice cream would be delicious. Some fruit topping, like some strawberry drizzle on this, or some fresh fruit would be wonderful. If you do decide though that you would like to do a frosting, so this is the frosting that actually is recommended on the recipe that I have based off of for today's video. So I will try and link that in the bottom here as well. It's calling for 2 tablespoons of melted butter, to which you combine 1/4 cup of cocoa, 1 cup of icing sugar, 1 tablespoon of milk or cream, and a quarter tablespoon of vanilla. And you just basically use a hand mixer and you whip it up until it's frothy and thick and creamy, and then you frost it when your cake is cool, and that sounds really good too. Quite a different recipe than anything I am used to. When I do cakes, I do a lot of buttercream frostings, which is basically your buttercream, your shortening, your icing sugar, your milk. So this is a little different. The quantities of stuff are a little bit different, but I'm thinking this is going to be really good. It's only been in the oven for 5 minutes or so, and already it's smelling really chocolatey. So if you are in a place where you just need like that little extra dessert chocolate fix, this I think is going to be a good bet for you if you have everything in your pantry that you need to make it. Our plan tonight, because nobody's going anywhere, nobody's doing anything, we are going to the theater while staying home. So if you look up cbcgem.ca, I think you will find a whole list of Stratford Festival productions. I believe there's 12 to choose from that you can watch on demand. So that is tonight's plan, is we're going to have some nice dessert and a glass of wine, and we are going to watch probably Antony and Cleopatra, because neither of us have seen that. So something for you guys to sort of keep an eye on and check out if you're looking for a little something different to do while you're staying home. Okay, so we will be back when this luscious, delicious chocolate cake comes out of the oven. Okay, so we've had our cake in the oven for 35 minutes, and we gave it the knife in the middle test. And it looks beautiful, and it smells really good. So, although we should wait until it's cool, we're not going to do that. We're going to try and cut a couple slices right now and see what it's like. looks and smells delicious. Oh my gosh. Okay, this looks really good. Let's go for the taste test. Okay guys, so this is not even cool yet, and as you can see, I have not dusted this with confectioner's sugar. I just want to see what the straight up cake tastes like out of the oven. So first off, I noticed that when I cut into it, it is not like flaky and falling apart and dry. It is moist. It is lovely. Okay. Pure, unadulterated chocolate. If you just need a little fix of chocolate and something sweet and something that feels like you're treating yourself, this is going to be it. And it really didn't take any time or any ingredients, really. Very, very few ingredients to put this together, and this is lovely. So please try it. It's depression cake. I will link to the original recipe down below if you decide you want to amp it up and try some chocolate frosting. But honestly, guys, this really doesn't need it. This is good just on its own. So thank you for joining me for another edition of What's Cooking with Nancy, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Have a lovely weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home.